So we're gonna go ahead with Darwin's Dangerous Idea by Daniel Dennett, if I remember this correctly. I'm actually of course sure. Today we're gonna go through the last bit, because I have actually seen that, there's just such a tiny little small thing in there that I haven't been going through, and it's not worth for me to just make a presentation there. And I was also a little bit lazy today, so I thought, well, let's just go through it. But the only difference is that I've already went through it, I've already read through it, which is gonna make the reading at least better, and I'm also having a few thoughts. But yeah, the future of an idea. The genius exhibited by Mother Nature can be dissembled into many acts of microgenius, myopic or blind, purposeless, but capable of the most minimal sort of recognition of a good, a better thing. There is no quote-unquote natural way to mark the birth of a human quote-unquote soul, any more than there is a quote-unquote natural way to mark the birth of a species. And I do believe, I'm not quite sure, but it kind of reminded me on the debate of when human life starts. Especially when it comes to abortion, and especially when it's, when they're just debating, like, is it really when this and this happens? Is it just way earlier? Is it way later when the child is actually born and stuff like that? It is difficult, and definitely, I mean, there is just various different opinions and probably also various different laws that are doing it in just very different ways, which I don't know. It is indeed a difficult and ethical and moral question. Yeah, for me, the thought is this child gonna be better off by not living instead of living in these circumstances or just having this life? I do think to some degree it can be the case, yes. But if we think about the States, if we think about Europe, if we really indeed think about areas of the world where wealth is really allocated and really is, then I don't know, I don't really think that being that is better, because you're born in a fucking great area and you can do something with your life. Whether you're having a mother and you're having a father that is just your mother and father genetically or not, doesn't really matter then, if I think about that. So yeah, of course, as I said, it is a very, very, very difficult question. Those who think that we should preserve the elephant's pristine environment at all costs should contemplate the cost of returning the United States to the pristine conditions in which the buffaloes roam and the deer and the antelope play. We must find an accommodation. And yes, I think so as well. Indeed. We are now on this planet and we also want to live, and we also want to just have things in a certain way. I do not really want to refer to just capitalism and trying to just make money out of fucking everything. But if it is just really entirely about preserving elephants or the elephant's environment, then yeah, I mean, they're living in Africa right now, just partly I think also in Asia. And I don't know, I do want them to be there, but yeah, I just not closely, but clearly get what he's referring to, there has to be some balance between, okay, we're gonna do something for them, but yeah, okay, we also need our space and we also just need to not change everything kind of completely. But I don't know, the whole just hunting thing when it comes to elephants and all the other species that are nearly extinct piss me off, because why? I mean, of course there's money, and there is just people making money, quite a lot of money from these things, but in the end, I don't know. In the end, indeed, it is actually the case. If you're a hunter and you think wow, I'm gonna make some money there, and yeah, you're probably gonna make some money there. But the thing is, how long are you gonna make money? First of all, you either have to ensure that there is gonna be just enough animals so that you can sustain yourself for just quite some time, or you search yourself just something else to do, or just some other job. Selling drugs, for example. No, I'm joking. So yeah, I think in the end, it is just once again the short-sightedness of the human being and us just willing to make money really quickly. And yeah, that's quite it. This is how we are working and this is how we are doing things, unfortunately, in various different ways. if your religion, and this is something that, religion is always something that I think I just not necessarily should be going through, but yeah, it is in the summary. It's not my opinion, but I'm going to talk about it later on, I think, as well. If your religion advocates slavery or mutilation of women or infanticide or puts a price on Salman Rushdie's head because he has insulted it, then your religion has a feature that cannot be respected. It endangers us all. And there is the rub. What will happen? One may well wonder if religion is preserved in cultural zoos, in libraries, in concepts and demonstrations. It is happening. The tourists flock to watch the Native American tribal dances, and for the onlookers, it is a folklore, a religious ceremony, certainly to be treated with respect, but also an example of a meme complex on the verge of extinction. Yes, unfortunately, indeed, there's going to be just trillions of traditions and memes that are not gonna stay memes, that are not gonna just be given to the next generation, because they're just, it's gonna stop because of globalization, because of also because of this. Even though, for these American tribes, it is maybe not even that bad, because they're probably making a little bit of money by doing so. Of course, you're probably gonna feel like in a fucking zoo, that people are watching you and watching your traditions and stuff and whatnot, but I don't know, like, yeah, making money out of everything, quite. But just coming back to the religion thing, I do have to say that yes, he is kind of right. On the other hand, I just also can understand those people that are thinking that way. It's not really like me being so, I just really can't understand those people, like it is such a fucked up shit and whatnot. Like, nah, not really. I get it. If something is really important to you and somebody is like, insulting it, then of course, yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. It's not gonna be something that's cool to me. But there has to be boundaries. Is something sacred? ? Yes, say it with Nietzsche, the philosopher, I think. I could not pray to it, but I can stand in affirmation of its magnificence. The world is sacred. Yes, indeed. It is actually the case. I just don't have to pray to something, but I can respect it, I guess. And I can deal with it in respect. And I can just be like, well, even if you or somebody else believes in it and prays to it, then I'm fine with it. It's just not what I do, but it is okay if you do it. But I acknowledge it, and I maybe I also appreciate it. Could also be the case. But something else that I want to talk about is indeed Darwin himself, because I don't actually know quite a lot about Darwin. There is something interesting that I've seen, and yeah. So Darwinism, first of all, and then we're gonna go to Charles Darwin, as you can see here on the right side. Yeah. This article is about concepts called Darwinism. For biological evolution in general, see evolution. For modern evolutionary theories, see modern synthesis. For Wallace defense or the theory of natural selection, see Darwinism in Brackett's book. Or it's not called brackets, I know, because brackets are the etched ones, but I just don't remember the other ones. See also social Darwinism. Darwinism is a theory of biological evolution developed by the English naturalist Charles Darwin, who lived from 1809 till 1882, and others, stating that all species of organisms arise and develop through the natural selection of small inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, survive, and reproduce, also called Darwinian or Darwinian theory. It originally included the broad concepts of transmutation of species or of evolution, which gained general scientific acceptance after Darwin published, quote-unquote, On the Origin of Species in 1859, including concepts which predated Darwin's theories. English biologist Thomas Henry Huxley coined the term Darwinism in April 1860. Pretty interesting. But the thing is, there's actually multiple different ways how Darwinism was used. First of all, as I've seen, it was used for some other things, some book, I guess, some other concepts, and also apparently to just meme him, because as evolution became widely accepted in the 1870s, caricatures of Charles Darwin with the body of an ape or monkey symbolized evolution. yeah, and first of all, as I've seen it, the first time, I thought like, well, what is this? It looks really funny, but what is it? Is this a quote? I'm gonna read it. I don't actually know why, but I'm gonna read it. What if the orbit of Darwinism should be a little too circular? What if species should offer residual phenomena here and there not explicable by natural selection? 20 years hence, naturalists may be in a position to say whether this is or not the case, but in either event, they will owe the author of The Origin of Species an immense debt of gratitude. And viewed as a whole, we do not believe that since the publication of Van Baer's research on development 30 years ago, any work has appeared calculated to exert so large an influence, not only on the future of biology, but in the extending the domination of science over of regions of thought into which she has as yet hardly penetrated. Which by the way, is kind of something that I can't really believe, that there is regions where science is like, it's there, but we just don't believe in it and stuff. Which maybe, I don't know, highly... Okay, this does not sound very good. It kind of sounds like one dog is dying, and I really hope that it's not the case. Anyway, I wanted to say something. Maybe highly religious regions where this is the case, or highly non-developed regions where this is the case. Even though, like, it could be the case. I don't know, but there's actually also esoteric use. In evolutionary aesthetics, or aesthetics, however you're actually pronouncing it, theory, there is evidence that perceptions of beauty and are determined by natural selection, and therefore Darwinian, and that things, aspects of people and landscapes considered beautiful are typically found in situations likely to give enhanced survival of the perceiving humans' genes. I don't know. I do think, but I mean, to kind of be honest, and I've been talking about it just for multiple times, natural selection kind of has stopped because we all can reproduce, whether our genes are good or relevant or just amazing or not. Of course, if you're not able, quote unquote, to get a woman as a man or get a man as a woman, then there's not going to be a lot of reproducing. But the chance that you're going to have a man, the chance that you're going to find somebody that actually really likes you is nearly 100%, or it is actually 100%. Because if you think about it, and I've actually tried to kind of calculate that, if you think about it as a graph, some bell graph, then the chance of at least finding one person on this planet that likes you out of, and it highly depends that, because of course you're just only going to take the opposite gender, or maybe even the same gender, or even both, which is kind of the optimal thing then. But even if you just take only the opposite gender, which is going to be, for a woman, it's going to be 49% of the 7.5 billion people that we're having right now, which is roughly, I think, 3.54 or something, if I remember correctly, billion people. Of course, there once again, I do have to say that it is from 0 to 100 years old, or just whatever years old. So therefore, we would also have to kind of minimize that a little bit, because, I don't know, there has to be an age range in which you're gonna search, basically. But it is, I think, still gonna be a very high percentage that at least one person is gonna like you or love you, and you're also liking this person, even though I think it is a little bit difficult, because of course you can say the chance is 50-50, or if the chance is 50-50, then it is nearly 100% that you're gonna find somebody. If the chance is 50-50 that somebody likes you, but what about you liking this person? Is it then gonna be a 25% the chance that everything is gonna be good, or is it gonna still be 50%? Because you could also say like, wow, this is the chance of us liking each other or not. But I don't really think that this is working, because I think it is actually kind of 25%, or 0.25? Because first of all, we just have to make sure, okay, this person likes you, and then we also have to make sure that you like this other person, which is going to be a 50-50% chance that this person likes you, and there's going to be, once again, a 50-50% chance that the person is, or that you also going to like the person, which is then, I mean, if we calculate that, I might also be wrong. 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. So I think it is actually 0.25. Then I kind of have to recalculate that. Maybe I'm actually going to do it afterwards if I'm having some time. But something else, Darwin himself, Charles Darwin. This is Charles Darwin, born on the 12th of February, 1809, the Mount Shrewsbury, Shropshire in England. And he died aged 73 in Dawnhouse, Down Kent, England as well. Known for the voyage of the Walch on the origin of species and the descent of man. He has 10 children and he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 awards, which is great. Institutions, tertiary education. Is it actually tertiary? I don't actually know. University of Edinburgh Medical School. Christ's College, Cambridge, Bachelors of Arts, Master of Arts, Professional Institution, Geological Society of London, Academic Advisors, John Stevens Henslow, and Adam Sedgwick, and other people. His signature is very interesting. Very interesting. Looks kind of arty. Yeah, maybe I'm going to read a little bit of it. Oh. Do you actually? Charles Robert Darwin, FRS, which is, I think, all Fellowship of the Royal Society, the Royal Geographical Society, then FLS, Lineal Society of London, and we're having Zoological Society of London. I don't actually know if you say it like this, if this is a part of the name officially, but, you know, anyway. Was an English naturalist, geologist, and biologist, best known for his contribution to the science of evolution. His proposition that all species of life have descended over time from common ancestors is now widely accepted. The thing is, and considered a foundational concept in science. Yes, okay. The thing is, as I've been thinking about it, it is commonly accepted or widely accepted. Does this mean that we just accept it? I know there's no real kind of scientific basis there, but we just merely accept it that, okay, it is the case. You know, it just sounds to be plausible. It just sounds to be good. And a lot of, maybe there's just some, I don't know, some indications or indicators that it could be the truth or that it would make sense. But if there's some concrete, like, okay, yes, this is the case. What, by the way, is this? The star. I do wonder what's happening if I do that. Featured. Featured articles in Wikipedia are considered to be some of the best articles. I have never ever seen something like this, but I mean, like, it's Charles Darwin. It has to be good. In a joint publication with Alfred Russel Wallace, he introduced his scientific theory that this branching pattern of evolution resulted from a process that he called natural selection, in which the struggle for existence has a similar effect to the artificial selection involved in selective breeding. Darwin has been described as one of the most influential figures in human history, and he was honored by burial in Westminster Abbey. Darwin published his theory of evolution with compelling evidence in his 1859 book On the Origin of Species. By the 1870s, the scientific community and majority of the educated public had accepted evolution as a fact. However, many favored competing explanations which gave only a minor role to natural selection, and it was not only until the emergence of the modern evolutionary synthesis from the 1930s to the 1950s that a broad consensus developed in which natural selection was the basic mechanism of evolution. Darwin's scientific discovery is the unifying theory of the life sciences, explaining the diversity of life, and so on and so on. So now there's way more. It's a very, very detailed and long article here, or Wikipedia entry. I wonder. Now I get for whatever reason tired of it. I'm just having a look at the children there. And it seems to be the case that the last person died was in 1943, Leonard. I wonder what he was doing. Leonard Darwin.
The Royal Geographical Society, I see, was an English politician, economist, and eugenicist. He was the son of the naturalist Charles Darwin and also mentor to Ronald Fisher and statistician and evolutionary biologist. Very cool that he was able to do something with his life as well. Then we're also having William Erasmus and Elizabeth, Mary, Eleanor, Henrietta, Emma, and just whatnot. I just don't want to kind of read. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the episode there. I think it's very interesting. Maybe I have been able to spark some interest in this whole topic in general. In 1851, Darwin was devastated when his daughter Annie died. By then, his faith in Christianity had dwindled, and he had stopped going to church. I see. But I do also wonder what Henrietta did. Was the daughter of Charles Darwin and his wife Emma Wedgwood. Was born in Down, Kent in blah blah blah. She was Darwin's third daughter and the eldest daughter to reach elderhood after the eldest, and he died aged 10, and a second daughter. Mary died before she was a month old. She and her brother Frank helped their father with his work, and Henrietta helped edit the Descent of Man. Okay, well, anyway. Well, now I'm going to actually end the episode there, so thank you very much for being with me. The next episode is going to be about something. It's probably going to be like just some Reddit stuff. It's going to be a quiz. I do think it's going to be a quiz. And I do want to do a quiz. I don't know why, but I'm going to do it. Yeah. I wish you the best, health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, and then also being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty cool and neat thing. Something else to keep in mind is these 3 questions. Why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions can show you your purpose, on the one hand. On the other hand, also business idea, which is a fucking cool thing, but I mean, purpose per se is fucking amazing, and it's pretty cool. So, yeah. Another question, right, is what could you do, what could you particularly also say, change, make, whatever, that is really gonna create a difference in somebody's life? Because I believe from the bottom of my heart that we all can do something. I don't want to say that we're all going to change the world, but I think we all can just do something to really make the lives of the people around us a bit better. And yeah, we're going to see, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really truly appreciate that. And yeah, I'm going to see you the next time. So